It's honestly not that hard to eat healthy when you're on the road. I know you get tempted a lot of times to just want to stop off at a McDonald's or a Burger King or something when you're doing a lot of driving to get from one place to another. But if you put in a little bit more effort, you don't even really have to pay that much more, and you can enjoy a way healthier meal on the go. And I'm going to show you how to do that today by showing you what I'm gonna cook inside of my van. The stuff that I just bought from Safeway here in Edmonton, Alberta. Picked up some beef here for about 12 bucks. Picked up some veggies here. This was around $3.50, $4. So all in, you're looking at about 15, 16 bucks for all of this. Don't pay attention to the donut over there. That's for later. And I bought some sunflower seeds too, and so that's why my bill has gone past the it's gone past the $15-16 mark. But we're just not going to count that as part of the meal here, because I'm trying to show you how to eat healthy on a at around the same price as you would pay for fast food. Basically, you just got to put in a little bit more effort, right? So I'm sitting here in my van. This is what the food looks like right now. Just to show you, I'm just parked right outside of the Safeway here out in Alberta, in Edmonton, Alberta. And so I'm going to close my door again here, and I'm going to show you how to cook this using the air fryer. So I'm just going to kind of pull out that air fryer out of the side over there. I'm going to put it over here, and then we're going to start cooking. Alright, so I got the air fryer set up. This is the Ninja Crispy air fryer that I just picked up from Canadian Tire. Got the beef opened up over there. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that beef, toss it into here. I'm going to put in some olive oil and some spices, and just make sure that it gets a bit of a rub. And then I'm just going to grab all of the stuff that we have here. I'm going to toss it all into the air fryer. I'm going to show you how long it's going to take for it to cook. Alright, so the beef is in the bag now. I'm not really trying to marinate it. I'm just trying to get it coated here so that it has a bit of flavor to it when I cook it. But that's in the bag now, and what I need to do is I'm just going to turn this thing around and basically start cooking. And let me get back to you with the details of how long it's going to take. So I guess the way you're supposed to do it is you're supposed to take the veggies and stuff and put it in the bottom here. And so I'll remove that, get some veggies in there. All right, and then you're supposed to put this thing back up on top. Doing this with one hand here, so it's going to be a little bit sloppy, but you're supposed to put this thing back on top here. All right, just get it nice and settled in. Put the beef on top of there. Let's do that right now. Alright, so that is in there, and if you're curious what kind of seasoning I used, I went with this one here. It's actually pretty good because it has a lot of paprika in it, and I got some olive oil here on the side that I just kind of keep around for different stuff, because I love to eat olive oil. That's basically it. You got this thing sitting here, just gonna lay it out. It's a nice fatty piece here too, which means I probably didn't really even need to use any olive oil, but it is what it is. Well, I'm going to put the top back on top here. I'm going to turn this thing on, and I'll probably put it in. It'll probably take about 20 minutes for it to get ready, but let me do that, and I'll get back to you in a sec. Alright, so everything is in there now. What I'm going to do is just going to put this on here. I'm going to put it in for a couple more minutes than planned, and I'm just going to hit the mode. If you look here, I'm going to put this in air fryer mode. I don't want it extra crispy. Just gonna put it in regular air fryer mode. Hopefully those veggies don't block the meat from getting cooked down there, but we'll see in a couple of minutes about how it all turns out. And meanwhile, I'm just gonna step out here and go for a little walk around the neighborhood. While that's cooking there, I'll give you a view of where I'm at right here out in Edmonton right now. I just got into town last night from Calgary. I'd stayed in Calgary for a couple of months, and I have decided that I'm gonna be heading up the Dempster Highway up to a little town called Tuktoyaktuk, which is the northernmost town in Canada that you can get to by road. And decided that that's where my road trip's gonna be going, so I'm just getting ready to head up there. And I don't know how long I'm going to be out here in Edmonton, but for the time that I do, I'm probably just going to be trying to eat as healthy as I possibly can. I know that most people probably wouldn't do something like this. They'd much rather just kind of stop off at a McDonald's or whatever on the way to their destination and just eat whatever they can find. But I find that I don't feel very good after a day or two of just eating straight fast food. And so I've decided that I'm gonna try to eat well as I do my traveling, and I'm willing to put in the little bit of extra time and effort that it takes to make that happen. So it's part of the reason I'm doing this. If you're ever interested in learning how to do this, I'll show you the results in a couple of minutes. Let's take a look, see how that is cooking in there. It's still cooking, yeah, it's still going away. So let's come back in a couple of minutes and see how that turns out. Alright, so this thing is cooking. My car just turned on because the battery is running a little bit low. I'm running this thing off of the hybrid battery that I got in my car here. And anytime the hybrid battery runs low, it just automatically restarts. And that's what makes this type of cooking possible, is because the car itself is basically like a generator for anything you need to use. The way that it's kind of hooked up here, you can see it's a little mess back there, but let's take a look. Let me save my donut from over here. Let's see if that donut's the most important part of the meal. So basically I got this little inverter that's like there's a 1500 watt inverter in the car that gives me a regular plug, and that plug just kind of runs down here, and I basically just have this crispy hooked up to the plug that you can kind of see in right down there, over there. And so the car was off when I first turned it on, but it looks like the battery has drained enough that the car needs to restart to recharge the battery of the actual car, which is sitting somewhere down here. And then that's what gives me the power that I need to be able to run this Ninja Crispy over here in the car. So we're got about 5 minutes left. I'm gonna just take a quick peek here to see what that looks like. Oh wow, yeah, it looks like it's cooking well. I don't know if you can see that in there, but that is already cooking really, really well. Let's not hold it back. Let's do that. Let's hit start again and let it keep going until I don't want to make it, I have to experiment a little bit here because I don't want to make it too well done, but I don't want to eat it raw either, and I have no idea how this thing is going to cook it in here, but we'll find out soon. Alright guys, there's about 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 12 minutes, it's ended. Let's see what it looks like. Let's pull this out. Wow, that looks really well cooked. Oh, let me get the camera out of there so it doesn't steam up, but looks really well cooked. Maybe a little too well done, but I don't know how the veggies in the bottom are going to be. So let me do this. Let me pull all of these out and start cutting them up and see how the veggies are doing. All right, so I got to hold the camera with this hand, and I'm going to see if I can just pull them out with this hand. How well done is this? I don't know. It's not looking. I'm going to have to cut it open and take a look at these, but let's get all of the beef out here. Look, I didn't say this was going to be glamorous or clean. It is a bit of a messy process, but like I said, I'm willing to put in the effort if it means I get to eat a little bit healthier and I get to eat food that kind of nourishes my body a little bit more than a lot of that junk food that's out there. So put this over here. I'm going to grab one of these veggies and just taste one of the veggies first, because I ate a frozen broccoli head over there. I was so hungry. That did not taste very good. Let me see what this one tastes like in comparison to that. All right, let's try this out. All right, so that's what it looks like. It's actually nice and soft. Very edible, and all the juices from the beef have kind of fallen down here, which gives it, which gives it a little bit of that flavor that we got from there. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cut this up and let me see how this beef came out. All right, so I had to set up the tripod here because that one-handed thing just was not working, and so got my little shears here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open that up, and I'm gonna pick up one of these, and we're gonna find out together how this came out. Let's see how the actual beef came out. I am gonna taste a piece of it. Okay, well, a little too well done, I'd say, but I mean, too well done is better than it being raw. So I am gonna eat this, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna adjust my cooking time next time down to 10 minutes. Maybe open it up and flip them next time just to see if I can get this to be a little bit more pink in the middle here. But I mean, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. It's not too overcooked. I'm going to taste a piece of this to see how it goes. Let's see. Yeah, this one's not bad either. And let's pick up this big piece over here. Yeah, a little bit overcooked. I'd say that's a little bit overcooked for my taste. Like a little bit juicy. But look, that's not going to stop me from eating this at all. Let me take a little piece of this and see if I can taste it right now and see how it came out. Juice it up a little bit there. Let's see. Oh, nice and soft. Tasty. Oh, very edible. I can easily eat this and really enjoy it, to be honest. But so that's kind of how it came out. Sorry, I had to finish chewing there. So that's how it kind of came out. Again, like the total cost of this thing is like around 15-16 bucks. So even if it costs you a little bit more than fast food, it is going to take a lot more effort. It's going to be a bigger mess. But if you really want to eat healthy on the road and you're willing to put in the time and the effort and everything that it takes, I'm just showing you that it is possible. I know that most people would rather just go through the drive-thru and eat whatever, but I've done that so many times that I've gotten so sick, and I realize every time that I eat, I eat McDonald's and Burger King 2-3 days in a row. It's like day 4, I wake up feeling like not very good at all, and I can tell that it's because of the food that I'm eating. And so, because I plan on being on the road a lot, I got to figure all of this stuff out, because I don't want to be feeling that way just from eating junk food. And that's why I'm willing to put in the extra effort here to make sure I get good quality nutrition food happening while I'm on the road. Anyways, I'm gonna start enjoying this meal. I'm gonna open the door back up here. Let's see, Lady just came in here to put in the cart. Hopefully she doesn't call the cops on me or anything like that. She just came in and put that cart a couple of minutes ago. But I'm gonna enjoy the rest of this meal. Hopefully you guys learned something. I don't know if you're gonna do it or not, but at least you now know it's possible. Alright, so I basically ate all of the beef, but I don't think I can eat any more of the vegetables because I'm so full. I was really full right after I ate all of the beef, to be honest, but I wanted to wolf down some of these vegetables too, just to kind of make myself feel a little bit better that I'm eating healthy. So I'm gonna try to finish these up. I'll probably keep the rest of those vegetables for tomorrow. I don't have a freezer or anything in here, but hopefully they'll stay. They won't go bad between now and tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm gonna stop off at some other grocery store parking lot and probably do the exact same thing. Maybe tomorrow I'll do a little bit of chicken instead of doing beef, but that's basically the way to eat healthy. Best thing of all right now out of all of this is that I'm so full that there's absolutely no way that I'm gonna be able to eat that donut, and so that thing's gonna probably just sit around until it gets stale and I toss it out, or until I decide I do have the appetite to eat it. And I know it sounds like a contradiction. I'm trying to eat healthy, but then I also have a donut sitting there on the side and makes me look like a bit of a hypocrite. But the one thing you guys might not already know is that donuts are delicious, and so that for me just kind of feels like it washes away all the hypocrisy. But you do whatever works for you. If you feel like cooking in a car, at least you see an example of it. Maybe tomorrow I'll make a video about eating chicken in a car. My car's beeping. I'm gonna go. Alright, so maybe one more thing before I go. I realized that the last video I posted on this channel was years ago, and I was talking about building a backyard office in my backyard, and now I'm sitting in some random Safeway in Edmonton, Alberta here, cooking a meal inside of my van. And so what gives, I'll give you the bottom line. I decided not to build the office because it was going to cost around $60,000 to $70,000, and it was going to take a ton of time, and if I wanted to do it manually, it was going to cost me just about the same. if I was gonna go with one of those guys that actually does pre-built offices, that's where I got the price of around 60 to 70 grand. But if I was gonna do it on my own, I'd have to pour my own concrete, hire my own guys, do all my own planning and stuff, and the cost wasn't gonna be that much lower, to be honest, because the price of doing renovations and everything here in Canada has gotten absolutely ridiculous, and I had no idea things had gone that far south so quickly. I was hoping to spend max like 20 to 25 grand on something like that, and the 60 to 70,000 dollar price tag just made it not worth it for me. So what I did in the last couple of years is that I've took the money that I was going to spend on building an office, and I just traveled throughout Latin America and the States. I was just down in Myrtle Beach about 6 months ago. I spent some time in Miami. Spent a couple of months out in Miami, and then now that I'm back in Canada here, I decided to just come out west to see what Alberta is all about. I've lived in Ontario for most of my life, lived in Toronto for most of my life, and I've never seen the rest of the country, and so that's what's been going on. If you were wondering how I went from a video a couple of years ago of building a backyard office out here in the middle of the Safeway parking lot, having a big healthy lunch of beef inside of my van, that's kind of how I got here. So I'll probably do more videos. I don't know, I just like to do this for fun every once in a while, and put something out, and so if I'm up to it, I might start doing more videos of all the road trips and everything that I've been doing. But if not, maybe you won't see me for a couple more years. Who knows?